Hello, my name is Matt Cush. This is EDL 856, Module 4, Understanding My Community. And my community is Grand Island, Nebraska. Some customs and traditions in Grand Island are Husker Harvest Days. This is a farm show. It takes place once a year for 3 days and has been going on for 43 years. The Harvest of Harmony Parade is a parade that takes place yearly in October. And I would say the main thing that the Harvest of Harmony Parade is known for is having the most bands in the state at one time during this parade. We also have the Nebraska State Fair. Oftentimes, Grand Island, Nebraska is introduced as Grand Island, Nebraska, the home of the State Fair. And we also have the horse races that take place at Fauner Park, and those take place in the winter and spring. Those are very popular in Grand Island. Some population characteristics. 51,267 is the total population of Grand Island as of July 1st, 2019. 82.8% of residents are high school graduates. 20.6% have a bachelor degree or higher. The age of the residents, 8% are 5 and under. 18 and under is 28%. 14% are 65 and older, and 50% are ages 19 through 64. As far as the gender, we are 50.4% males and 49.6% females. And occupations in Grand Island, some of the most popular employers with the most employees are number one, JBS Beef Plant with 3,400 employees. Grand Island Public Schools, which is my employer, with 1,500 employees. CHI St. Francis is a hospital with 1,300 employees. CHI St. Francis is also the place where I was born. And Hornady Manufacturing has 751 employees, and Hornady manufactures bullets. And as far as the race of the people in Grand Island, 82% are white, 3.2% are black or African American, and 0.6% are Asian. And his Hispanic Latino population is 31.6%, and then white non-Hispanic or non-Latino is 62%. And two or more races, 1.9%. The nationality, the most common nationalities in Grand Island are people from Mexico. There's 5,346, which my wife would be included in that. And then we have Guatemala with 2,242, and India with 1,983. What communication channels are available in the community? I would have to say that the city of Grand Island uses mainly Facebook and Twitter to communicate with the public. And Grand Island Public Schools uses both Facebook and Twitter, but they also use Instagram. And how extensively are they used? The city of Grand Island and Grand Island Public Schools post daily on all forms of social media. So for Grand Island, the city of Grand Island, Facebook and Twitter daily. And for Grand Island Public Schools, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram daily. Which ones are most effective for reaching different segments of the public? You just have to go with Facebook. Facebook is the most popular social media site for both the city of Grand Island and Grand Island Public Schools. Some community groups in Grand Island, and this is just a few of them. There are many, but these are the ones that I felt are the most important. We have the Central Nebraska Humane Society for all the animals. We have the Good Samaritan Society. They do good things for people. The Crisis Center, which helps people out during their times of need. And we have the Central Catholic Development Foundation, which is the Catholic schools version of what we have at Grand Island Public Schools, the Grand Island Public Schools Foundation, just raising money for the schools. We have Heartland Casa, Hope Harbor. Hope Harbor helps women that are in bad situations get back on their feet. We have the Multicultural Coalition. The Salvation Army helps a lot of homeless people and helps people, once again, get back on their feet. We have the YMCA and the YWCA, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Nebraska. The Boy Scouts of America, Compass, the Grace Cancer Foundation, which the Grace Cancer Foundation sponsors a yearly marathon, and the Crane Trust. So a lot of cranes come to Grand Island every year, and the Crane Trust is a group about the cranes that come to Grand Island. Leadership in Grand Island. So we have the Greater Grand Island Community Foundation. The Knights of Columbus would be another example. The Grand Island Area Chamber of Commerce, the Grand Island City Council. And one man that I would like to mention is Ray O'Connor. He's a local business leader and helps out a lot in the community. Economic conditions in Grand Island. So this picture to the right here, it says Grand Island Casino Resort. That is not an actual place yet, but in the future, Fauner Park plans on making a casino resort, and that's something that we in Grand Island we're very excited about that. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we're the home of the Nebraska State Fair. On the left here is Grand Island Senior High, the school I work for. This is their football stadium, and we recently did millions of dollars of improvements to this stadium, and the stadium is looking great now. And there's a picture of it. Grand Island Economic Development Corporation is another thing to mention. The political structure in Grand Island. This man pictured here is the mayor of Grand Island. His name is Roger Steele. Then we have the city council. The members are Vaughn Minton, Jason Conley, Justin Scott, Michelle Fitzke, Bethany Gazinski, Chuck Hayes, Mark Stelk, Mike Fowlick, Maggie Mendoza, and Mitch Nickerson. And the Water Resource Board includes Mick Reynolds, Leroy Ahrens, Keith Ostermeyer, Jerry Milner, Alicia Hausler, Jerry Weiss, Chuck Mazer, Ed Stoltenberg, and Barry Obermiller. Social tensions in Grand Island, Nebraska. Some parents and students in Grand Island Public Schools have been very outspoken about the mask policy that we have in place during this pandemic. Grand Island's mask policy, or at least Grand Island Public Schools mask policy, has been enforced during the 2020 and 21 school year, and during the 21-22 school year as well this year. This has led to tensions as many people are strongly against the mask mandate, and there have been several protests. This one on the left here shows a protest that took place earlier this school year outside of the administration building. It was a peaceful protest. As you can see, a lot of smiles on faces there. It didn't get too bad. And there have also been protests by many Cuban residents in Grand Island. These protests are similar to other protests that have occurred in the United States over the injustice in Cuba. Previous community efforts in Grand Island. So Grand Island has these following projects that were started and completed in the community in my lifetime. So the Grand Island Skate Park, this was built in 2001. There it is pictured on the left. A lot of people that like to skateboard go to the skate park to do it. And then we have the Grand Island Bike and Hike Trails. This is something that I go on quite a bit, running on the trails, and I just love going on them, pictured in the middle. And then we have Island Oasis Water Park, which was built in 1993. It was very popular when I was a kid, and I would imagine it still is. I just don't go quite as much anymore. And then the power structure in Grand Island. I already mentioned Ray O'Connor. He has tremendous involvement and influence in the community. He does much of his work publicly, but also from behind the curtain. Another man that I would like to mention is Tom Dinsdale. Tom Dinsdale owns a car dealership in Grand Island. He has a lot of power and makes a huge impact on the community, both in front and behind the scenes. Both of these men donate a lot of money to the school, and we are very thankful to these community leaders. Multicultural issues in Grand Island. We have a very large Spanish-speaking population, and I would say that's the reason why I learned Spanish, because I was able to speak it so often with people in Grand Island. We have a number of Muslim residents. Some issues that have come up have been praying during work or during school, which is allowed, and the hijab, which is not really an issue, but it was different at first, but it's not a problem anymore, and I don't think it ever was. Just took a little getting used to. And we have a number of refugees in Grand Island from countries such as Cuba, Sudan, and Somalia. Public opinion in Grand Island. The best way to gauge public opinion, at least in my opinion, is look on Facebook and read the comments. Sometimes it can get a little negative, but you're definitely going to find some opinions on Facebook, whether you agree with them or not, or even want to hear them. If you want to hear them, you'll find them on Facebook. A good way to increase public understanding, support, and participation is by updating the community on social media regularly. PLO correlation. This assignment allowed me to understand and demonstrate the capacity to promote the current and future success and well-being of each student and adult by applying the knowledge, skills, and commitments necessary to engage families, community, and school personnel in order to strengthen students' learning, support school improvement, and advocate for the needs of their school and community. I did this by doing research and presenting about my own community of Grand Island, Nebraska. Relevancy statement. This assignment was relevant to my learning because learning about my community is very important as a teacher. I grew up in this community, but this assignment helped me learn some new things about Grand Island that I previously did not know. This assignment improved my understanding of engaging with the community because it gave me more understanding of my community, which is always important when dealing with community members. This assignment has influenced me as a future administrator because I now have more information about my community. The more I know about my community means that I am able to understand and serve my community that much better as a future school leader. Knowing about my community will make me a better leader in the future than I would be had I not done this assignment. Here are my references. Page 1, page 2, and page 3. Thank you.